There you can see the fuel. You can see that is not where it's supposed to be.
This thing. Alright, so jumping right into today's video, we got a lot to talk about. I haven't been posting the video for quite some time. I think it's been like 3 weeks, but that's because I've had nothing but fueling issues. Quite frankly, I'm pretty tired of it. I've had big turbo and all this stuff done for like a year now, and I'm still tuning for 93. Like, I'm so annoyed with my progress. So I'm gonna take you back for like the last 3 weeks, and we're gonna talk about what's been going on. All right, so last thing you guys saw, I installed that P3 gauge that goes like right there. Thing's pretty dope, love it. It's fantastic, definitely recommend it to everybody. Ever since then, it's been nothing but problems. So when I installed that, I just gotten a new tune through my new tuner. It was like the version 1, Reflex version 1 and everything. And it kind of started there. Now, it wasn't the tuner's fault. It started off great. Sorry, let's start with that. It started off great. Everything was good. Boosting, great. I noticed my low pressure fuel pump was having some sort of leaking. So taking you back here, I don't know how much you're gonna be able to see, but you can see up in there, that's where you can see it says Radium. So it has my top hat. I'll put some pictures in here because I do have pictures of everything. I have a Radium Top Hat now, and that's because the feed line for my port rail, because you guys don't know, I have 2 different fuel lines. I have one for my added fuel pump and then one for my stock fuel pump. So the port line was actually leaking out of the top hat. Now you may be saying this is the installer's fault, and I mean, it could have been, but ultimately, the kit I had bought, it comes with metal, like threaded in pieces that are threading through plastic. So I was having a small leak out of that. So I swapped to the Radium Top Hat. Once I swapped to the Radium Top Hat, things didn't really improve. Like, yes, I didn't have a fuel leak coming out of that line, which was fantastic because that was one of my biggest worries is now I have a fuel leak come out of there. But problems didn't stop. And then all of a sudden, I'm crashing up top. So like, you know, when you're driving fast and whatnot, and you're hitting boost, and it starts like, it feels like a boost cut, fuel cut, like the car just like stutters, it like shakes and whatnot. That's what this was doing. It was cutting because I'm losing fuel pressure up top, which is wild to think about because I'm on 93 octane. Like 93 can take a big turbo for 500 horsepower, 550. So working through the tuner, we did a couple revisions, nothing was working. Shortly after that, I put up a video.
There you can see the fuel. If I zoom in here, oh come on. You can see that is not where it's supposed to be. Yeah, see?
The stock fuel line actually comes off of my Radium Top Hat, as you can see there. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. As I'm driving down the road, full story. I've had that top hat in for like 2 weeks now. I drove to work that morning, everything was fine. I got off, go out to start the car didn't start. What the heck? I've never had car starting problems. So I go to start the car again and I smell fuel. I'm like, okay, well maybe it's just dumping fuel in the engine. That kind of sucks, obviously. You don't want that. Try starting it again, nothing. So I get out of the car and I smell fuel towards the back. I look under, as you saw, it was leaking fuel and the fuel line was completely disconnected. Dude, what the heck? So the white little clip was completely gone. So after that, I was like, shoot, I'm at work. This sucks. I'm a half hour from the house. I don't have my tools. So eventually I was able to crawl under the car. I'm a small dude, so I was able to crawl under the car and I reconnected it. Well, as I'm reconnecting it, I realized when I pull on it, I'm still able to pull it off. And mind you, I do have another white clip on there, but it was still coming off. So this comes to the thing, it's like, well, is the radium bung nipple thing too small, or is my old line somehow wore out? I don't know. So now that brings us to last Saturday night, so just a couple days ago. I'm driving down the road, I hit like 2 or 3 pounds of boost, the fuel line comes off while I'm driving. Sick, love to see it, love to hear it. I'm like super nervous to even drive the car. I drive it in normal mode and I just cruise everywhere. It sucks. So finally, 6-7 minutes later, this is what's in the process of happening now. Oh, I do have a trans tune now. I got trans tuned, not by XHP. I had that originally, but it's like Sutphin tuning. Feels amazing. Feels amazing. Absolutely recommend. But anyways, on to what I'm doing. So now, what I'm currently in the process of doing, I've ordered all the parts. I am completely changing my fuel system again. So the stock fuel line, as you guys know, is that plastic piece of junk, or not plastic piece of junk. Well, it is. It's a plastic piece of junk.
I'm under the car. You can see right here, that silver piece is the factory like line that connects to the top hat. And then you have your 2 radiums, which is your feed and return. But that silver line is the one that keeps popping off. So I'm replacing it. So, ow! That hurt. Look at that exhaust. It's clean. Oh, I got out of this stupid thing.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm taking that line, the factory fuel line, and I'm quick disconnecting it. So kind of like the Visconti setup in my engine bay here, where, you know, it's like that, where it's got the screw right here, and then this screws in, where basically you got your bung, and then you have a piece that goes over it, and then you screw it in, and it's got O-rings in it, so it's not gonna come off. Well, that's my problem with that, is it keeps wanting to come off. So I got a quick disconnect for that, back in the back, and then I have 5 feet of -8 line. So I'm gonna take it, and I'm gonna run it over the diff and the drive shaft, over to right around this area, where that fuel filter is. Wherever that fuel filter is, about a foot before it, I'm gonna wire those 2 together. So now my added low pressure fuel pump and the stock fuel pump are gonna be feeding into one, just like the Visconti pump, technically. But those 2 go inside the tank, where now this is gonna be outside of the tank, more easily accessible. I'd rather have it this way, honestly. So then it's gonna go through the fuel filter, through the boost pump pressure regulator, which is fantastic because now all my fuel goes through that, and all of it will go up through boost pressure, which is amazing. Love to see that. Instead of just like my added pump, now all of it will. So now I'm gonna regulate that at 70 PSI, and then it's gonna shoot up. It's gonna go through the flex sensor, which will be relocated. I'm not keeping it there. I'm gonna put it behind the engine more, just cause like right there, trying to do an oil change is honestly a nightmare. So then I'm taking that line off, and I'm kind of changing that. That is obviously the feed line, but I'm gonna change it to that. We'll go into the flex sensor, and then after the flex sensor, because I bought 2 quick disconnects, where it's gonna quick disconnect into the flex sensor, and then it's gonna go off of that into a Y, and then that Y one will go to port, and then one will go to direct. And that direct is going to quick disconnect onto the factory hardline. So realistically, my entire fuel system is being replaced. This will flow obviously better than factory. It's not gonna be double lined, which everyone's been telling me to get rid of, because the 2 lines is very bad, because if the added low pressure fuel pump fails, there's no fuel going to my port rail. But if I do it this way, obviously the pressure sensor is reading that, and the car's reading it, so it'll be up the fuel, so I can still feed this to hopefully not blow up. Yeah, and I mean, all that's gonna be gone. There'll be no stock rail, because I mean, look at that rail is so small that, you know, like this is a -6. Plenty of fuel up here, and it's gonna be much cleaner, it's gonna be much better. So honestly, pretty psyched about it. It's gonna be a lot of work. That'll probably be this coming weekend. The parts are honestly coming from Canada though, so I don't know when it's gonna get here, hopefully sooner than later. But that is it for now. Nothing but fuel problems. This has been 10-11 minutes of me ranting about fuel issues that I've had in the past 3 weeks, where I've made 0 progress on tuning this thing. It's honestly really frustrating me, because People do the same build in weeks and they're done. But here I am at a year. But I will catch you guys in the next video. Hopefully I'm installing the new fuel stuff and we can actually get to tuning. So, see ya.